Hey everybody, and welcome to Meals with Melissa, where I give you healthier versions of things that you like to eat. So today, I like to keep it simple because I don't do complicated at my house. Too much going on, and it's the holidays. So of course, anytime that I can keep things super simple, super quick, I'm all about that. So today, we are going to make a healthy gluten-free version of chicken tenders. Now, I grew up on chicken nuggets. That was like my thing. Chicken nuggets dipped in ranch, right? So we're gonna just give you a little bit healthier version, a gluten-free version, because at this point, I do have Hashimoto's, and so that is something that I try to really do is stay gluten-free because, yeah, really, although they say it only deals with celiac disease, there is a high intolerance of gluten, and a lot of people would really do well to cut that out of their diet. So, super, super simple. I've already got the oven preheated to 350. Now, you could get some chicken breasts and cut them into strips, but honestly, I'm just gonna do it the easy way and use some chicken tenders that I already had that are pre-cut. Super, super simple. It's only like 5 ingredients. So first thing I'm gonna do is I have some chicharrones, some pork rinds, and I'm going to grind those up in my small little food processor. I'm still trying to buy a bigger food processor. I know I need one badly, and I keep looking at them, but I'm one of those people who hates to spend the money when I already have something that works, right? So I'm going to put these, now these are just regular flavored pork rinds. You could get another flavor. Just be careful. I looked at the barbecue ones, but you gotta watch the sugars, guys, because of course, sugar tends to be where the issues lie, and a lot of times you don't even know there's sugar unless you really start paying attention and you know what other names sugar goes by. So I'm gonna throw this into my little food processor, and I'm just gonna pulse it until they're just really small pieces, which it takes me a second to get it all set in there. I'm the one that is not fully coordinated. There we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna grind those up. Super simple. Okay, and you just need about a half a cup. Now, I'm not doing a full version of this today because I've already made a couple of sets of this morning to show you what they're gonna look like. But I've got about a half a cup, maybe just a little bit less in there. I'm gonna add it to some that I've already made this morning. Now, you're gonna put it in a shallow dish because you're actually going to at some point dredge your chicken and coat it with, this is the breading, right? We're just doing it in a way that is a little bit healthier. Now realize that the pork rinds are still technically a processed food, but if you're doing really low carb and you're trying to stay away from gluten, this works. Okay, so to that, I'm also gonna add about a half a cup of Parmesan. Now you could do just the freshly shredded, but I'm just doing what I have on hand, which is the grated. So I'm gonna put about, like I said, I'm not doing a full version of it today just because I've already been playing with that. I'm gonna mix that together in my little shallow. I'm just using a plastic container that we have, but you could use a dish. Whatever works best for you. Okay, now, working on that. You can also add some seasoning. Now the seasoning, let me pull that out of the oven. This is just the finished product so you can see what it looks like. Okay. The seasoning that the recipe calls for is Italian seasoning, but I'll be honest, because I love ranch, I'm actually using a little bit of Colonel Season's ranch popcorn seasoning. Now, this does have a little bit of sugar, so you have to pay attention to that. It does contain corn syrup solids, which is a sugar. So keep that in mind. It still makes it gluten-free, so we're cool. So I'm gonna add about 2 teaspoons of that and mix it through my little coating, my breading that I got going on here. It smells good. All right, mix that up. Now, the recipe also calls for mayo. Now, here's my problem with most brands and products when it comes to mayonnaise. Not a fan. Unfortunately, a lot of them are made with soybean oil or canola oil, and I am not a fan of those products. I really do believe that they damage DNA. So you can use it. I recommend if you're gonna use mayo that you go with more of like an avocado oil base mayonnaise or an olive oil base mayonnaise. Today, honestly, I'm gonna make this a little less fattening. I'm just using egg whites as my dredge. So you can either use egg whites, you could use full egg if you really wanted to. I'm just using Kirkland brand or Costco brand. I'm putting it in there, and then I'm dipping my little pieces of chicken tenders in there. Super, super simple. I'm gonna put it in there, get it nice and coated with the egg whites. Okay, and then I'm gonna put it in my little seasoning or my little bread coating, my little crumb coating. Okay, make sure that it's really coated well, and then I'm gonna put it in a a casserole dish, not a pan. I'm gonna put it in a casserole dish. Now, you could also air fry these. That is a great alternative. Plus, it would probably make for a little bit crispier crunch of the breading or the coating of it. So I'm just doing what I've got today. So we do have an air fryer. We do. I just haven't played around enough with it to be an expert at that quite yet. I'm a little bit of a technophobe, so anytime I have to learn to use something new, it takes me a minute. All right, so I'm gonna do a few pieces of that. I'm gonna throw it in the oven at 350 for anywhere from 20 to 25 minutes. Just start paying attention at about 20 minutes to make sure. You just don't wanna overbake it because then it just gets kind of, rubbery and gross. I do not recommend that you microwave this because, anyone who's ever microwaved chicken to cook it knows that's not a great idea. Maybe to even reheat it, you're kind of playing with a little bit of texture there. But I'm just putting it in my casserole dish, and then I'm gonna bake it, like I said, for about 20 to 25 minutes, or I actually might drag out the air fryer and try this because I think that sounds amazing. So once I pulled it from the oven, right? Now, it would be nice if it was a little more coated, but you know what? I'm happy because it gives it flavor. It gives it a little bit of texture. Here's how it's gonna look. Okay, bring it out of the oven, and then I actually have some ready-made pieces where you could do a dip of some sort, or honestly, it's got enough seasoning, you probably just don't even need that. So, for those of us that love the idea of chicken tenders or chicken nuggets, but we know that it's not really probably our best option, what a great alternative, right? So, if you have a comment or a question, or if you've made this before and you want to tell us how it worked out for you, please leave a comment below. I love to hear from you. You can also message me directly at Facebook Messenger, or if you have a recipe. Actually, I get a lot from my daughter because she comes up with some really great options. So until next weekend, guys, have a very Merry Christmas. Enjoy your family. It's the time and the season for that. And you know what? Do something good for someone else. That's all I ask. Have an incredible weekend, you guys. That's Meals with Melissa.